Now, let me just tell you, for those of you who have not been watching the news today, that a new set of stamps has been issued today, 11 in all, called Football Heroes. It's part of the attempt to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the FA rules being established. Among the players featured from all four corners of these islands, Kevin Keegan, Dennis Law, Bobby Moore, Brian Robson, Dave Mackay, Bobby Charlton, Jimmy Greaves, John Charles, Gordon Banks, George Best, John Barnes make up the 11. They could have gone to 11 different artists to make the stamps work. Instead, they went to one. And like I say, we're joined by him now on the line. It's a big good evening to Andrew Kinsman. Hello, Andrew.
Hello there.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I mean, what a fantastic commission this is. How did you get involved?
I got an email from an agency, design agency in Manchester, saying would I be interested in doing this commission. I knew that they chose about another 6 to 10 artists to do a proof, sort of a one-off of just Bobby Moore.
Yes.
And I got the job. So then they gave me the whole brief of I had to make them look as one squad. They gave me all the players and so forth. So
let me ask you, here in front of me it says you are an artist and musician.
Yes.
How do you actually make your living day by day, Andrew? What are you doing?
At the moment, I'm doing more of the painting, and I certainly have been with this commission.
Yes, of course.
I've got an exhibition coming up soon. Well, in the summer. I've just come back from Paris actually, where I'm just getting reference for this exhibition. But I've been doing tours earlier this year. I did two arena tours with Noel Gallagher. So that took up a little bit of time.
I think I actually saw you then because you played a saxophone, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
Well, that was you, was it? Okay, good. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this then. Once they decided that they wanted one artist to do all 11 players, how did you go about? I'm presuming some of these people are no longer with us. You're working from photographs.
That's right.
How did you go about making them look, as you say, uniform, like one squad?
The design agency photoshopped as much as they could, and the idea is they wanted an artist to make it look more real as possible, to superimpose these players as if they were in one squad. So
sure.
I was given reference material, photographs, and some obviously wasn't very good. Most of it wasn't very good. A lot of it was pixelated, out of focus, or even black and white. So I had to add color, imagine people that were, if I had a shot of them, for example, sat down and he was at the back row, I would have to imagine him stood up. So a lot of picking and choosing from the images I was given, and a lot of imagination, I suppose.
And as somebody who occasionally wields a paintbrush, I must say with all the skill of a talented pig myself, but what's the particular difficulty of painting something that you know is going to be reduced to the size of a thumbnail? Yeah,
I wanted to give a certain amount of detail, so I did the painting as big as I could. So then, obviously, when it was scaled down, the detail would show up more. But I knew that sometimes some of the images would be blown up a little bit more. So I wanted that. I wanted that give of being able to be blown up to a decent size, so you wouldn't see too many brush strokes. You would still see a certain amount of detail.
And of the 11 you had to do, I mean, you can be honest with me now. Which turned out to be the most tricky?
I think probably John Charles. John Charles,
the famous Welsh centre forward, of course.
That's right. Yeah, because he was one of 2 or 3 players that I only had black and white images of. I had one colour image which was very far away, but I had to make him look more like when he was playing with Juventus. So I had to recede his hairline a little bit, give him a bit more of a tan, change his kit, add colour to him, and obviously make him stand up. And also it was the size, a lot of the size of the players. I was given a rough estimate how tall they were. But obviously John Charles was a very big man.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
And I couldn't, make him dwarf the other players too much. But I was given specifications of where to put their heads. So obviously I had to make the heads uniform, as in the right distance apart, so the stamps could fit. The template of the stamps could fit side to side over the heads.
Well, you know what, Andrew, because of this is going to be such a huge story, these 11 players and the stamps, it makes you one of the most famous portraitists, portrait artists in this country. I must ask you, what did you make of the recent effort the bloke did of Kate Middleton, which to me looked like the sort of thing that you might get in a high street photographer's for 30 quid?
I mean, a lot of people ask me that, and I think he's had a lot of flack, and I think he's...
I know why, because it was awful.
He's a great artist. I'm not just saying this. I mean, the painting he won the BP Portrait Awards with a few years back was a stunning portrait, and I sympathise with him as an artist. I mean, I'm not belittling his work at all.
No.
But I'm sure he was only given a certain amount of time with Kate Middleton to take reference pictures, and I'm sure he wanted to stay on the safe side.
Andrew, you're doing a very good job of diplomacy there. Listen, it's great to talk to you, and thank you very much. And of course, anyone can go online now and see Andrew's work.